welcome to the Onyx Pathcast. I'm your host, Eddie Webb, and with me are Dixie Cochran.
Hello.
And Matthew Dawkins.
Hello! Obligatory wrestling reference. Brother.
Matthew, or you? Oh, okay, I guess, okay, that was weird. I guess Matthew's gonna be kind of here. We'll just interject him as necessary.
Matthew's always here in spirit.
Yes, whether we like it or not.
Like the ghost of Christmas past.
The ghost of New Year future. I don't know. He's under the sea somewhere.
New Year's past at this point.
New Year's past, yes. Actually, it's now 2019, actually.
Yeah.
Hooray. And so we're still kind of getting through our holiday backlog, getting ramped up. So what we have is something we picked up at PAX Unplugged, actually.
It makes it sound like
just lying around on the floor. It's like, hey, I found this thing. It's an interview, I think.
I definitely think it just sounds like a disease.
Well, it's Jacob Burgess. So no, that's not true. Jacob's a lovely individual. He's one of our newer freelancers, although he's not new as a creative. He worked previously at Paizo. He is a very accomplished voice actor. He's worked in the video game industry for a number of years. He's now getting back into tabletop, and Onyx Paths, one of the companies he's very passionate about. We love Jacob.
We talked about him several times on here. Like, his Bloodline stream is still one of my favorite things I've ever watched on Twitch. Partially because he is doing a blind playthrough of Bloodlines.
Yes.
He has never played it before, and he is spoiler free. So whenever anything happens, especially if it's something that's overarching Vampire the Masquerade metaplot related, he gets so excited.
Yes.
And I definitely recommend, I think that Tilty House still has some of his clips up if you want to go look at them, because there are a few times when his reactions had to be preserved.
Indeed. And actually, that's a lot of the crux of the interview I got from him at PAX Unplugged. We spent a lot of time talking about just our mutual love of the World of Darkness, the mythology, the lore. He gets really, just genuinely wonderfully excited about it. So he and I sat down. Was going to be for a short interview. It ended up being almost an hour. So we decided to make this into its own little episode. Jacob
does not do things by half measures.
No, he's very, very passionate. And so usual caveat of this was recorded at a convention, so the sound quality is not going to be as clear as you normally get. Although it's been better than some of our past recording at convention episodes. So we're getting better about that. Another piece is that this was recorded very, very late on Saturday night. We were both extremely exhausted while also hyper. So it is more unfocused than usual. And also, while we did only have a little bit of profanity in this podcast, it is slightly more than normally we have.
So it's a profane ramble with Jacob Burgess.
Yes. But still, it was a ton of fun. And I hope you guys enjoy it. This is Eddie Webb. We are at PAX Unplugged. We're trying out this new wonderful $30 plastic recorder.
It's beautiful.
It's a wonderful piece of something. But we're trying it out. And I'm here with Jacob Burgess.
Burgess?
Burgess?
Yeah, soft G for a soft name.
Thank you. You told me that, and I've already forgotten it. I should clarify, it is Saturday night, so we are both really tired.
Oh my God.
It's been a very long weekend, wonderful weekend.
Yes.
But very, very long. But Jacob is a Onyx Path freelancer, which is not an official requirement to being on the Pathcast, but seems to be. But also, you've done so much more. You've worked on Pathfinder, you're a voice actor, and close to Ian Watson in terms of most name-dropped person on the Pathcast. And you're both heavily involved in Bloodline, so I'm sure there's a connection there.
Yeah, probably.
So this is your first show with RPG stuff. Is that right?
It's my first purely show for tabletop RPGs.
So you've been to other shows where there's some RPG stuff there,
right? Like PAXs and things like that. Because I do games who publish Valhalla and World of Horror, which is coming out, and Masquerada, which I was in. Yeah. So I've done.
Cassandra Chow actually wrote for that too, didn't she?
Yes, she did. Yeah, as a matter of fact. So I've been to other PAXs where there is a tabletop presence. This is my first pure tabletop convention.
And what do you think? I mean, how does it differ from like the mixed presences?
It is, in my mind, it's way more laid back. And there's less passive psychic assault of everybody complaining about things.
Really?
Yeah, a little bit. Like, at least I haven't heard it. Our people are a little more, like, I didn't like this mechanic, I didn't like this thing. Like,
more constructive?
Yes. It is, typically the criticism is more constructive. Yes, it's easier to deal with psychically and passively, like, listening to folks. It's also much more laid back. The structure of... because I'm involved pretty heavily in the video game industry, the structure of companies and like how they interact with their audience is wildly different, and
it's very regimented.
Well, in the video game industry, absolutely.
Yeah, right, exactly.
But here, the whole feeling is much different. It's much more laid back. It's really cool because a lot of people are like, "Hey, you want to play a game?" No. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. Where like a lot of times we're at a video game convention, people are like, "Hey, we got your thing. The finger guns. Come on over here. We got the thing. Like, these come fully loaded. What are you doing?"
I just realized everyone came from New York in video game industry.
Every last one. But I know the vibe is much different. I'm not saying one is better than the other. It's just
but
a way different feeling.
I've been to like GDCs as well,
right.
And like other kind of video game conventions, and like the only video game cons I've been to that have been really lax are the ones that are almost heavy designers, because then it's like you're all amongst their own. But when you have the kind of lots of fans, and you're right, it is bigger companies. You have to have a much more distinct presence, a much more we have a planned approach,
right?
And a lot of companies come to shows like this, and it's just like, buy my game, cool, want to hang out? Otherwise, not. I got things to do,
right?
And I mean, one cool element is that we do get to kind of play more at these shows. In fact, I ran a game for you on Friday night. It all blurs together.
Yeah, it was like last night.
Yeah. 20 years ago, we played this game.
20 years back.
I was a younger man then.
I'd carve my dice out of the bone of my slain enemies.
But it was Pugmire. So
of course. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah. I don't...
No, it was like dark approaches. Like, but also we played puppies.
It was great. It was awesome.
But I mean, no, you can do that kind of stuff, and like, you know, you can actually get to play with, and it gets a different relationship.
Very much. Yeah. And I got to run a game today too.
Yeah. You ran Cavaliers of Mars.
Cavaliers of Mars. Yeah, I ran Cavaliers of Mars for completely new players. I had run it cold, so. You know, when you run demos at games, like, you want to like hint at the system, but it's like, in my mind, the content and the feeling of the setting is much more important.
Absolutely right. Yeah.
Because you want people remember how they felt, not what their numbers added up to all the time. And that's what sticks in people's hearts and minds. So it was a great freaking game. I loved running it for folks.
No, absolutely. And also because at this show, like the kind of classic convention setup is like a 4 or 6 hour structure, and we've been doing 2 or even shorter hour structures. And it's a very different style, because you're right, it's like not only do you have to distill the mechanics, you have to distill the experience down to, okay, what's cool about Cavaliers or Pugmire in a 2 hour burst.
Right.
And that can sometimes be really challenging. We had the luxury last night because it was kind of slow. We actually did a full 4 hour adventure.
It was super good.
Where you guys almost killed each other.
Almost, yeah.
It's almost, there was lots of possession happening, and people turned on each other.
Yeah, I took down 2 people. It was great.
So you rolled crap, and then player characters were like, well, in that case, now start going great now.
Yeah. My dice were like, yeah, you're going to roll crap until you get possessed, and now it's just like, hey, do you like criticals? That's how you get criticals. Son of a bitch.
So what's it been like? I mean, we have lots of people on the Pathcast who have other jobs. So it's like there's either the full-time freelancers like Dixie, me, Matthew. Then people are like, you know, I'm a freelancer, but also I'm a space librarian. Hi, Megan. You know, or people like Neil or whatnot. But you're in a weird place because you're the video game industry is not that far removed.
It's not. But having a foot in both worlds is, like, they are different. And it's also weird kind of bridging both industries, because there are people in the video game industry that are huge fans of, like, a lot of the games in the tabletop industry, and it goes the other way. Mm-hmm. And, like, there's this weird, sometimes, like, starstruck nature to meeting someone that you really like from both industries. And sometimes that is confusing to me because I have friends in both industries. Right. And I'm like, can we just all, like, talk to each other and do cool stuff?
Just hang out?
Yeah, just, like, I don't know. And the way that, like, I have to switch modes when I network in one industry or network in another industry.
Oh, really?
Yeah, absolutely. So when I, like, networking in tabletop, and this is something that I've literally just learned over the last couple of days, like, I've had to adjust. It's like when I go to different coasts. Like, West Coast, I communicate in one different style. East Coast, like, when I go back to New York, I'm a different person almost. Okay. Just because it's comfortable and I know all the structures, and that's going home.
Right.
I behave like a different person.
Right.
I am not a different person. It's all still me.
Right.
But
just different. It's different methodologies. Just sliding the scales on your personality.
Exactly. Yes. And it's different methodologies, and, like, this is in the video game industry. Like, a lot of times, depending on who you're talking to, it can be very business oriented.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, a lot of, like, oh yeah, hey, we're gonna do the thing. Let's do the thing. Let's change information again. Finger guns. Hey, what's going on?
By the way, this is prime audio content. If you make all these hand gestures.
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally. I should start going bang 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 bang. And as a voice actor, I really should know that. I'm super good at my job. Yeah, I'm literally doing handguns. It's great. I'm the best at this. So glad you're finally having me on. I'm representing myself very well. But with the tabletop industry, it's I find that interest gets people's interest.
Right.
The more you're interested in what they have and what they've done, as opposed to being interested in the company sometimes in the video game industry will kind of give you an in. Getting interested more in the direct product in tabletop, I find is a better way to make a connection.
Okay,
Does that make sense?
So it's like in the video game industry, it's like, oh, you're a big fan of Riot.
Riot, yes.
And so you find out how the Riot culture works, the Riot community works, and that becomes like a whole big thing. And so if you're engaged in that, that's what came in. Where it's like, oh, you're like Onyx Path, so you're a Pugmire fan. That's your avenue. But you can't really be a Onyx Path fan because it's kind of nebulous almost.
I mean, I feel like I manage it.
Well, I mean, you are a better man than most of us.
I'm insane. No, I really just I like everything you do.
Well, no, I mean, it's and there are lots of people who are, which we always really appreciate that. But I've also found that a lot of people who, I mean, I'm an Onyx Path fan. It's weird to say, but I mean, there's lots of games that I genuinely love that I've not worked on.
Right.
But also, I do find a lot of people are like, I really love all the stuff you do. But also, there are my favorites, Book Boyfriends, for example.
Yeah, no, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. I almost reached to grab it out of my bag, talking to a microphone.
Again, prime audio content. Let me show you the book to your audience.
I do want.
It is very late at the show.
Oh my God.
And we thought it would be a great idea to record this.
Oh, we are the smartest.
But I mean, it's like, you are. Semi-seriously, you are a huge fan of Vampire the Masquerade. You've been unapologetic about that.
Absolutely.
And there was kind of a running joke for a while, both on the podcast and on Twitter, about trying to get you to play Requiem.
Yeah.
And I mean, the thing is, like, you told me you picked it up, you've read some of it, you've become to respect and appreciate it.
Absolutely.
But I mean, I think it's also fair to say you don't necessarily love it because you have this very specific relationship with Masquerade that Requiem does not replicate.
That is correct. And also because I understand that this is not an uncommon story, but Vampire the Masquerade saved my life. And it's part of the reason why I like Onyx Path as much as I do and have wanted to work with and for Onyx Path. If I didn't have Vampire the Masquerade in the World of Darkness when I was in high school, I probably would have killed myself, straight up.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not equivocating. I'm okay talking about it and things, but I'm not exaggerating.
Right.
That's a thing. Like, I was a bisexual Jewish kid who went to a really rough Catholic school.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I had something that actually reflected the darkness that I was feeling, but gave me context for it.
Right.
And like humanity scale and everything. And of course there was just like, I'm gonna have a katana and a trench coat.
Sure.
And a freaking ponytail.
Right.
Which are 3 things I had.
We all did. I mean,
oh yeah, I understand.
It was the 90s starter kit, you know.
Yeah, like, right. I understand. Like, this is not necessarily unique, but it doesn't have to be, because it was my experience and my journey. And Vampire in the World of Darkness in general carried me through college, and I wouldn't have social skills if it weren't for role-playing games,
right.
If it weren't for D&D, if it weren't for Scarred Lands even, which I super got into. Exalted was great. I used the Exalted core book in a theater thing I did.
Really?
Because it looked amazing, and I had like the leather one with the freaking sun in the middle.
Oh, yeah.
It was so cool. And you rolled coffee can D10 to attack, and it was awesome. But it carried me through. So when the World of Darkness, like 2003 or 4? Yeah, 2003 or 2004, when like the Gehenna books and everything came out, I didn't have the emotional maturity to understand that this, like, they wanted to change it for like business reasons or anything like that.
Right.
I was just like, I was like, this thing that I love is ending, and I don't know why. And instead of giving that and again, this is what I thought then, this is not what I think now.
Yeah.
I want to be very clear about that. Instead of giving me the end, I wanted to know if I was right. And then I got a book that gave me 4 endings and said, there you go. You pick.
Sure.
I'm like, oh, mother. And then this new blue book came out, and all of my friends were like, well, this is the new thing. This is what we're into now. And I was just like, no, I don't like it. No, I can't.
You're not my real dad.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I was like, you're not my real dad. And at the time, I had run a 6-year meta plot with like 4 different groups.
Right.
And I messed up the last game. I borked it.
Okay.
Like, it was supposed to be, it was a werewolf, a hunter, like, this was supposed, like, it was a mage, a werewolf, a hunter, yeah, and a vampire in a Winnebago, and a changeling in a Winnebago, and it was bringing all of these threads together to finish it out and to end the World of Darkness.
Right.
And I borked it, and the group fizzled, and I could not finish. It was unfinished.
Right.
So when, fast forward to 2 years ago, I had 2 friends. I didn't pay attention to anything when like the 20th anniversary came out. I was just like, no, it's gone. I have taken a little box in my heart. I put it up on the shelf. And my friends in Vancouver, I was staying at their house to go to a networking event in Vancouver when I moved to Victoria, BC. And, you know, in exchange, I was like, I'll run a game for you once a month. What do you want to play? And they're like, well, what do you really want to play? We think you'd be wasted on a dungeon crawl, like a straight up dungeon crawl. And I was like, well, I really enjoyed the World of Darkness. Like, let's take a look. I'll take a look at this, like, 20th anniversary stuff, and, like, we can pick which game to... I laid all of them out with the philosophical conceits behind every game, and then, like, the box opened a little bit on the shelf, and I was just like, nah, it's cool, we're just going to do a thing, you stay up there, it's fine, don't worry about it, it's fine. And then they eventually landed on Vampire, that they wanted to play Vampire and explore that, and then I was like, okay, well, I guess I should check out this 20th anniversary edition. And this was like 3 years on, so there were a bunch of books that were already out. Right. Werewolf 20 had come out and all that. And then I read the first 3 pages of the V20 book and like cried because of all of the stories that had come out that they felt exact. It was all of my feelings here with other people on the page, and it was amazing. And then that box just like lit on fire, and bats flew out everywhere, and I was just like, it's home again, here it is. Like it was rediscovering a part of myself I thought I could never have again, right, ever. And I got to introduce 2 new players who I love very, very much. I hosted their wedding, like Ken and Lucas, my beautiful, wonderful gay friends who got married, and I get to run this game for them. I'm still running this game for them, and I have 2 friends in Seattle that were like, hey Jacob, we'd like you to run a game for us. And I was like, hey, how about we play Vampire? I didn't give him a choice.
This is what we're doing.
Yeah, this is what we're doing.
Get on the bus.
Just get on the bus. We had no time to explain. Let's go. And my friend Ryan Ike, who's the composer for Where the Water Tastes Like Wine, and my friend Akash the Car, who is the sound designer and Hyperlight Drifter, 2 of my video game industry friends, and very, very good friends, just truly, deeply. Ryan only started playing role-playing games at the beginning of this year. He played one D&D game for like 6 months that he's still playing with the cash, running it.
Right.
And then I got him into Vampire, and he loves horror. So I had literally been like drip-feeding him, like, and he was just like, "You have ruined my life. Like, this is, I can't imagine, how did I not have this before? You're a monster, dear Lord.
Give me more."
Yeah, exactly. Give me more. And so I was just like, here, this would be the next book. This would be the next book. And then he texted me, like, and I felt complete and whole, as I had never felt before, because like 2 weeks ago, he texted me, "What's a Cappadocian?" And my heart grew 3 sizes that day, and my black power grew, and it was amazing. I am dancing the black spiral, and they're all coming with me. So it's been wonderful and lovely, and I've gotten back into it again, and that's why I started like writing again and trying to see if I could network and approach you folks and, you know, see what I could do and if I could write again and if I still had it, because I do some video game writing, but tabletop's a completely different beast.
It is a very simple skill.
And started, you know, streaming and everything like that, and that's kind of how I ended up here, and it's been amazing.
And you worked on Book of Deep Oblivion, is the one you did for us, right?
Oh my god! What
was that experience like? I mean, did you finally get a chance to work on the thing you've loved so much?
You know how they say don't meet your heroes?
Yeah.
Being in the Slack and working on the Book of Oblivion with Bruce Baugh and Matthew Dawkins and Clayton Oliver and everybody that worked on it, like, it was everything I wanted it to be. Like,
really?
Yeah, Lillian, I'm going to get the name wrong because I'm bad with names. Lillian, I even did the last name. Oh no, please edit this out.
We're not going to edit this out.
Okay, great. We're not. Thanks
I've heard the Pathcast,
thanks,
but we've really embraced our DIY, don't know what the hell we're doing attitudes.
Thanks for looking out for me. You're the best mentors.
I get that a lot. But no, I mean, yeah, I know. Yeah,
anyway.
To be fair, I forget names too.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. But I mean, they're all great.
Yeah, there was like a playlist for Wraith, and I listened to it, and it was like I got to talk with all the other writers, and there wasn't ever an idea that I had that I got a no to. It was just like, hey, here's a thing. I was thinking about this. Can we tie this in? Is it cool if I tie in this thing from another line, but do it in that subtle, cool, like, way that I always remembered? And I got, yeah, you can do that, because I want people to read my sections and then go to other V20 books or
Wraith 20 books.
Wraith 20 books or any, no. I want people to do what I had to do when I was reading White Wolf stuff. And I got okay, and like laying it out so you'll be able to find clues in this that might hint to something in another book, and it could be this, but it might be this, and like doing that scholarly weird ass thing that, like, whenever I bought a new White Wolf book, I spread everything out. Long story short, the experience was everything I wanted it to be. It did not disappoint in any aspect. I got wonderful advice. I mean, Matthew Dawkins sat down with me for an hour and just went over stuff, and he did not have to do that. And I was like, let me pay you because this is like a thing. And he was just like, shut up. And I think it literally said shut up because he's very polite. It was, I don't know, it was just great. And Bruce Baugh was a great, Clayton Oliver. And they all said, all you need to do is pay this forward. And if I ever get a chance, as I hopefully keep working with Onyx Path and everything, I absolutely will do that, because I understand what a responsibility writing for the World of Darkness is, or at least that's how I feel about it.
So, and also, I mean, it certainly does explain. We made the joke before, but I mean, you know, you've been very vocal about your love of specifically Beckett's Jihad Diary, and you're talking about your kind of treating the World of Darkness like almost like an archaeological excavation.
Yes.
That certainly explains why you love Beckett so much, because Beckett is basically the complete payoff of that level of love and research and detail. I mean, I personally feel like it's a great book. Just on the surface. I mean, it's a lot of fun, but also if you do that kind of study, there's just so much more that kind of unfolds.
Yes, there are 2 or 3 things that Beckett's didn't touch on that I was like, damn it! But, I mean, the Faces of Death chapter, I've read that 5 times. I've read the whole book 3 times. I have, like, annotated notes that I put in, and, like, I have gotten permission from both Neil and Matthew to, like, message them every once in a while and be like, was this? Is this? Was I right? And I got to do the like even reading Wraith 20, like the intro couple of pages answered a 13-year-old question for me.
Yep.
Like I can't. How how do you have loved it and not love this now?
Mm-hmm.
How? It's the same thing, but it grew up with you. It's,
right.
Oh my god, it's so good.
And that's one of the things that I find really interesting is because you also do a Bloodline stream.
Yes.
And we've talked about the Pathcast, but one of the things that I liked about the streams I saw with you is that you'll play the game and you kind of stop and explain to the audience, here's how this ties with this, and here's the reference they're talking about. And so you bring a lot of depth and texture to Bloodlines that a lot of people, because a lot of people, I think it's an open secret, that a lot of people play Bloodlines don't even know there's a tabletop game.
Right.
They don't even realize there's a depth of history. They just assume it's a really great RPG, and it is. And so you're bringing a special thing where it's like, here's a special knowledge that gives you all of this additional texture. And I've been seeing people on the stream kind of gravitating to that and like going, oh, hey, I didn't even know this was a thing. And of course, there's Ian right there to, here's the Wikipedia page, explains all the different stuff.
Yeah.
Because Ian is a World Darkness Wikipedia. He's fantastic.
In some of the chats, people are trying to get to the answers before he does. Like, it's become a race now.
Have they ever beat him?
Yes.
Okay.
A couple of times.
Okay, good.
And he was just like, yeah. Yep. Yeah. And Dixie's also there and is absolutely amazing at
absolutely
filling in the blanks. And
no, yeah, I mean, and that's the other thing is like, Dixie's always answer questions about the company and also just her experiences as well.
Yep.
And I just love the kind of communal joy in learning a history that never happened.
Yes.
It is completely fictional. It is completely created by human beings. And yet there's as much joy and reverence and discovery in that as there is in like learning how to cook or learning about a new historical thing that happened in the real world. And it's something I like talking with people like you and Matthew and Neil also bring us to the table of the sheer love of not only the exploration but also sharing other people with that. And so, I mean, it's really, really exciting to me because I came from that, earlier on, but I came from that same path. It's like, I fell in love with Masquerades, very close to day one. And I played it for a very long time. But now that I've been on the other side now I'm doing math, it's like, oh my God, 11 years. Wow.
It's okay.
I need a moment or a drink or both. But I mean, you get a different relationship with material because then it becomes less of the this thing tied together, this thing that, and then it's like more like no, there's 3 Rasputin stories because someone screwed up, and then you know this stuff. But I mean, then you gotta fix it now, and it becomes cool. But it's like it was never like a master plan. And actually, to be fair, one of the things I love about the World of Darkness is that it is organic. It is just a bunch of stuff stuck together, and it works really well as a result of that.
Yes.
And so I mean, it's cool to also see people coming in and being able to just shape that. Again, folks like you, folks like Neil, Matthew, who were like, now I can answer some of those questions that I've always wanted to have answered, and in a cool way that people like me would appreciate. Mm-hmm. As a love and respect for the property that sometimes when you're creators, when you're trying to crank out the next book, sometimes you'll lose that. And so having people on that are still passionate about it really, really helps.
I will never not be passionate about it. It's I'm going to get all highfalutin, but like in my heart of hearts, it is a sacred charge. It is my favorite thing. And if I can help to shape and guide something in any way, if I'm ever given the opportunity, then I'm going to do my best. Can I swear?
Yeah.
Okay, great. I'm going to do my best to not fuck that up because it might help somebody like it helped me.
Right.
I would not exist without this thing. I wouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's somebody out there that it can touch, especially in the modern times with what we're dealing with, that it can help reflect the darkness in them. Because we've been friends. I am a pretty positive, happy guy. I don't like negativity.
Right.
But the World of Darkness, which is all of that, is my favorite damn thing. If there's somebody out there that's even a little bit like me or like that doesn't feel like that dichotomy is acceptable or okay, I want them to be able to see that it is, and here's a thing that you can read and explore that might help you. Look at their reflection.
Right. I mean, I've used the word cathartic before, but I mean, it's one thing that's really fascinating is that a lot of people come to this game and the surface read would be, I feel terrible you go to this world, everything's terrible. It's like, oh, yep, I was right, everything's terrible.
Yeah.
But you actually do walk away with hope.
Yes.
And it's fascinating because of the fact that you're like, oh, well, in some ways it could get worse, and I'm not there. But also, even in this really horrible dark mirror of our world, there are still people that get through it and can get past it and come to terms with who they are when they're confused about who they are, or can get over things. I mean, you talked a lot about kind of how you approached it. For me, it was a lot of struggling with alcoholism in my family. Actually, I don't know if I've talked about this in the podcast yet, but I've lost 3 family members to alcoholism. And some of them in pretty bad ways. I always had this connection to Vampire the Masquerade specifically, and later on Requiem as well. But I never quite understood what that was, and I realized relatively, like 4 or 5 years ago, that the metaphor of drinking blood to survive resonates really strongly with the alcoholic disease. And so it's like, how does that mess with your head where it's like, I have to do this thing that hurts people constantly for me to get through? Resonates really strongly with alcoholism and survivors of alcoholism.
Yeah.
Family. So it was like, I leaned into that actually, and in a live action character, I played a recovering addict. It was a werewolf though, but it's like, I played a recovering addict and what that was like, and the challenging conversation you had to have with other people. And I chose Apocalypse because the Apocalypse genre has a very kind of casual relationship with alcohol. It's very much like, we're going to die tomorrow, so I'm going to drink today, which works, yeah. Right? And so when you're coming in, it's going, hey, so we can't meet at the Fianna bar because I can't be around it. And that led to some really cool, compelling moments. But I mean, it's the same thing. It's like, it was not as extreme as that. I mean, I don't think I was like ever at that far apart. But I mean, I still had a lot of dark things, being a disabled kid. There's a lot of isolation that happens, and so there's a bigger world out me that people feel like me. Yeah. I've talked about like Vampire was just adult enough to appeal to teenage kids. Yeah. And it's that paradox, but it's absolutely true. And I do know how many people at the show alone, you and I both heard, it's like going, I found Vampire when I was mid-teens, and it shaped my life. Yep. And for the supposedly adult game, a lot of teenage kids found it somehow. But it resonates with you at that level, and it can become really, really important. Yeah. I don't know how many people have come out to their families because of the World of Darkness, or who have kicked alcohol, or who got back from abusive relationships because it's like they saw this hope in this really, really dark game. Yep. I'm curious, like, when you've written for it now, and you obviously constantly think about it. I mean,
that is true.
You're never not thinking about it.
I'm literally never not thinking about it. There's always a part of my brain that's going like, oh, this would be good for the game, this would be good for the game. Oh, I wonder what this thing is. How will I introduce this to a new player without overwhelming them or making them feel like they lose agency? No, it's just a fucking mess up.
Yeah, and actually we just got out of a panel, you were talking about game mastery sex. Yes. And the sex part is actually secondary, although I'm sure we'll get back to it. But you talked a lot on that panel about great things like, and we talked with Jax about veils and lines. Yep. and all that. Jax did a great interview with Dixie about that kind of stuff.
It was awesome.
So I mean, when we're talking about this, how to carefully teach people dark topics, and then we're also talking about this level of hope, this strain of hope. Is there a connection there? It's like do you find that by becoming safer with your friends, exploring these things, that it allows you to come to terms with it, and that bleed between character and player? Or is there a different way that they're approaching this hope?
Can you rephrase a little bit?
Sure.
I want to make sure that I can boil this
down.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like some of it is inherent to the game. We talked a little bit about the fact that there's hope kind of in the thread there, but it's not an obvious thread.
No.
It's something that you kind of have to tease out through gameplay.
Yes.
And so, I mean, now that you've run this a lot of times, you've played it a lot of times, like, what do you think is about the gameplay? How do you structure the game to kind of help to bring that out so people are getting those notes? Or do you just let the players find it themselves and internalize it?
So there's a couple of different ways that I handle it. Okay. Is one, even if their character is like sliding down into depravity, and one of my players in the Seattle game, like, he is playing a monster. She's a 19-year-old Irish girl who like came over on a boat and then like doesn't have documents in the States, and then was went feral for a week, and that got staked, in the late 80s in underground Seattle and only got like out recently.
Okay.
So what I've done for that, and he's just doing some monstrous like shit. She is, I should say.
Yeah.
The character Deirdre is. Ryan is amazing and lovely and pretty much made of marshmallows. But like he's just like, yeah, let's get dark. I was like, cool. Oh man,
I was not prepared.
yeah. Oh, what have I done? And then he looked at me and he's like, you did this. But for Deirdre, part of it is I'm hoping that Deirdre comes back from it because he's playing Deirdre like a teenager.
Right.
Like, and she is a teenager with superpowers that's just like, fuck the man. She's an Irish punk. She was a member of the IRA.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she's just, I want to bring down the Camarilla. Why? Because fuck them.
Right.
But I have given her specifically, her mentor got taken away through events, and she has started like really sliding down, went from like 6 to 5, and is now like 5, hovering around 4, and then she met a woman named Nancy, who is Nagaraja, which for those of you that don't know, they have to eat flesh instead of drink blood, and they're into necromancy, but she works at the trauma ward at on First Hill in Seattle. So she can say things like, I'm sorry we couldn't save the foot, nom 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 nom.
Oh, jeez.
Yes, but she still has Humanity 7. She doesn't,
Right, she's not injured. She's not hurting people.
She's not hurting people or anything like that. She's essentially eating spare parts.
Right.
And she's an example of you can be a monster and still be a good, or I should say a moral person within the structure of the morality.
Yeah,
of
they're
humanity.
not good, but they are
exactly.
moral. Yeah.
So it's giving somebody like an example of, hey, here is a moral person. Aren't you a piece of crap?
Right.
And then being like, I'm a piece of crap. I don't give a damn. And then like keep doing it, or being like, man, I have been a piece of crap. Oh no. And doing it that way, and using, like in V20, for example, because that's the system that we're playing in, bearing is very important, and then showing how monstrous you've become through subtlety, and like, hey, I want to get into a cab, and the cabbie's just like keeps looking back at you when you're this wayfish 19-year-old girl, and so you have to reflect that hope. There is a way to come back.
Right.
Here's an example of that. You are a monster, but you can come back from this. You know you can. You've got enough experience points. Like, you want to invest in this? Excellent. Let's take the story that way. If you want to redeem yourself, there is hope here.
Right.
Yeah.
And that was actually, and it's actually weirdly similar to my own experience. Like, again, being angry disabled kids, I gravitated to the Brewhop, and I love the Brewhop clan. Yeah. And it allowed me to kind of explore, okay, if I just burn it all down, that'll be fine. Yeah. And say, oh, this is not fine.
Yeah, I remember the story, actually. Yeah, I think you
about the 9/11 thing, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It's like I went too far, and then I had a real world incident. It's like, oh, that's too far.
Yep.
And so, I mean, it's, but that was not something that anyone designed. It was not a storyteller didn't guide me to that moment. It was like, I found that on my own. And I know that as we talk about things like safety rules and whatnot, some people are like, I didn't have those kinds of things, and I just figured it out on my own. It's like, yeah, but also, if more people can find that stuff more easily, and also if they're more comfortable, they will dive deeper, like you say.
Yeah.
I mean, it's, again, the catharsis experience. I like it. It's like roller coasters. Roller coasters do things that I, as a person, would be nowhere near okay doing. It's fear of heights.
Yep.
But because there's that perhaps illusional degree of safety with the harness and the metal around me, I do almost enjoy the experience, because it's like, I know that at the end of the day, the fear I'm feeling is transitional, it's temporary, and that there are no lasting consequences from or unlikely to be lasting consequences from that. And so I feel like tabletop role-playing games have the same avenue, and if we can more consistently provide those harnesses, those safety routes, so that way people can push a little harder, find and feel that more, I think is really, really important.
Yes, and even in the most casual, like, ha-ha, kind of like, fantasy-based game or whatever, like, nonsense space thing you want to do or anything like that, you can still find some real good nugget of, like, this moment, especially in relationships and but you need to all be able to trust each other to do that. And
Right.
there are a lot of people that are just like, oh, I figured it out and I didn't need safety rules or anything like
Right.
that. That's the same thing as saying like, yeah, I never wore seatbelts when I was a kid. Do you wear
Right.
seatbelts now?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Like, do
Right.
it. Like,
Right.
yeah. Like, and also the understanding, to reiterate a point that that Jax brought up during her interview, is that enjoyment is different from fun.
Right, yeah.
Entertainment is different from fun.
You really need to do an episode about fun. If we keep talking about it.
Yeah, I want to hear that episode. Like horror movies.
Right.
Like, that's not fun.
No.
It's an entertainment, though. It's enjoyable.
Yep.
You do it. Yay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's we've talked a lot about the World of Darkness. I mean, I know I could have you keep talking for a very long time. But
You did this.
no, I opened the door, I walked in, I knew what I was getting into. I'm not surprised at all.
You were the line developer for V20. You did this.
Actually, literally, yeah, I suppose. In fact, I am
You literally did this.
I literally did. I really did this.
Thank you, by the way.
Oh,
And fuck you.
that seems appropriate. And also, the whole V2A team did a great job. But yes,
The everybody that I have met so far that has worked on any of the World of Darkness stuff, I have said thank you.
And actually, there's one person you haven't yet, and you may have realized it. Rich Thomas actually did the layout for V20.
Oh fuck! I have to say thank you
Yeah.
because it is gorgeous.
I mean, he usually Rich takes a creative role, but in that particular case, he did do the layout, and I worked directly with him on the layout stuff, and we chose the art and whatnot, and the artists and the likes. I mean, other people worked in the art as well, but I mean, in terms of choosing the classic pieces, Rich and I talked a lot about those.
Oh, that's amazing.
So yeah, I definitely talked to Rich as well because he was a big part of how that looked. We talked a lot about like font choices, like other parts of the team again also talked about it. But I know like is they making sure which fonts. Second edition was like okay, the second edition headers are really key because they get that right feeling of nostalgia. So
I will definitely say thank you. But if you want to change the topic away from vampire,
no,
now would be the time.
You've dragged me back in.
You did this.
No, we're sharing blame now. But I mean, now that you're kind of dipped your toe in, are there other games that you would like to contribute to? Not necessarily have to be Onyx Path games, but other alliances like I would really like to do this kind of stuff for something else too.
I honestly, most of them are Onyx Path games, because I don't have time. I have a very limited time budget, and I'm very, very scheduled, so I haven't been able to expose myself too much to what's out there.
That's fair.
So I'm going to unfortunately have to talk mostly about Onyx Path.
Oh no!
Because I know it's terrible. I know, but it makes I don't know. It just makes me. I don't know. I don't think it makes me sound the best, but fuck it. Scion, 110%. Absolutely. This is sort of a cheat answer, but Exalted.
Right.
Because it's totally not the precursor to the World of Darkness.
No, that was changed canonically.
No, that was absolutely, totally changed canonically, and you can't hear me winking. So, don't you lie to me, Webb. Now, Scion definitely. That is absolutely fantastic.
Yep.
Aberrant. I love Aberrant.
Really?
Like, the little, thin, weird-ass book.
Yeah.
Like, with the blue binding and everything. Like, I love that freaking book. Because I want to play a character I've never gotten to run, and if I can't run this character, I at least want them to be an NPC, because I think they have, a decent backstory and whatnot. Somebody who has no combat ability, but is 100% indestructible. Like, they're just a researcher that cannot get hurt. That's it. Like, they're like your person in the chair, and people come in, they're like, yeah, I'm going to shoot you. We're going to take down your base and things like that. It's just like, okay, great. Well, I'm fine. Good job.
I'm going to go ahead and push the alarm now.
Yeah, but Aberrant has, a lot of, amazing themes. Scion, I think, is the one that I'm most excited to really get my hands on, because the myth from, origin to God, and talking about all of the mythos and everything. Another thing that I read a lot, before I got into World of Darkness, I spent a lot of time at the library reading mythology books.
Right.
I read the Odyssey when I was 8.
Oh, wow.
The whole Iliad when I was 8, because books were my friends.
Right.
That's all I had.
Yeah.
And these people that I invented were my friends. So, I love mythos. I love religion. I love the idea of gods. Part of the reason why I love Scarred Lands so much, which is another thing I would eat up. I still have the original trilogy Like, it's one of the only books I've kept from way back when.
Oh, really?
Are the Richard Byers trilogy of novels from the Scarred Lands? Because if you put a dead god in something, I'm fucking in. I am a place where adventurers meet. I am in. Oh my god!
Oh,
yeah, that's right.
Was,
yeah,
wow.
Yeah, you enjoy that.
I will not. You can't make me.
Let that soak in. You put a dead god in something, that's fantastic. I'd love to revisit that story in Scarred Lands, and write an adventure about it, or talk about the aftermath or something, that kind of thing, like Dead Titans. We built our building a city in the dead skull of a titan or something. That's so cool. Ancient civilizations and dead gods. If there's something that came before that nobody knows about, fuck yeah, I am 100% about that. There is no property that I have really, really enjoyed and gotten into that doesn't have a dead civilization in it that nobody knows about. So when I was Cavaliers of Mars, fuck that, what is this?
Right,
I want to
yes,
know.
we're in it. Yeah, let's do
same
it.
Same thing, fuck, why are there demons? Why is there magic? Oh my god.
And funny story, actually, is when the very first draft of Pugmire I wrote, when I talked about Man and the Old Ones, in the end, the current version, you see, they're gone, they're missing, lost.
Right.
The original version, they were dead.
Straight up dead.
Yeah. It's these are dead gods that these dogs are worshiping. And Rich is maybe pull that back a bit. We talked a lot about it. The other day, I agreed with his stance, but in my head, it's still this is a dead panther. They're not actually helping you. They're not around.
Yeah.
And the cats play that line a little bit more because with the necromantic elements,
right.
Our servants are dead.
Yeah.
They're dead servants. But it doesn't mean they stop working for us. So it's funny you mentioned that they got your GM. It's funny story.
Yeah. Hey, any Onyx property, honestly, any Onyx Path property, even Chronicles of Darkness.
Did that hurt?
It did. It really did.
We love you, Dixie.
Really, really did. I love you, Dixie. Very much. Please don't beat me to death with one of the books. If I was honored enough to be given the chance to caretake any of this, I would jump at it and treat it with as much passion and enthusiasm as I possibly could, because you're carrying somebody else's. I love writing on shared properties and shared worlds. I love it.
Yeah,
I don't need to sit down, and I have, of course, my own campaign setting and things like that, but I don't have this driving need. I love collaborating. I want to work with somebody on something.
Right, yes, I love collaboration.
Fucking love it.
Yeah.
You have this idea? Awesome. What about this? Oh, fuck, that's good. How about this? I think that's kind of fucked up. You know what? You're right. Let's do this.
But yeah, oh god, that is so sweet. It's when you start firing all cylinders, you throw ideas back and forth. Oh god, that's heroin.
That's the fucking
Yeah, no, that's good.
Yeah. So I that's part of the Book of Oblivion. I was I really wonder what this is going to be like. I need to temper my expectations working on this, and then I got into it, and I was just this is everything I ever wanted. This is what I thought it was going to be like, and it is like this. And oh Lord, just keep it chill, man. Just summon the totem.
Tuck it back.
Yeah. Summon the totem of the Great Dung Beetle and keep your shit together. It was great. I'll write on goddamn anything because I'm not precious about anything.
Right.
My words aren't my words, it's the words that serve the world. Acting is service, writing is service. If you're writing for a shared world, writing for tabletop, that's a service. You are serving. You're not just trying to get your shit in like a crappy indie wrestler. Yeah.
Oh,
there's your wrestling reference. I know how this shit works.
This is not my first rodeo.
I listen to you every goddamn Friday.
So on that note, the indie wrestling reference is the perfect way to end this up.
We just need to go to bed.
How can people find you online so we can get some sleep?
Oh, cool! I get to do this. When if I may just add one quick story.
Sure,
because
yeah, absolutely.
I'm super delighted and honored to be a guest on the podcast, even though we're fucking tired of using this mic, and we might have to do this whole thing over again. Because this thing, that's a special.
I spent $30 whole American dollars on this.
Hey, man, that's a special little nugget. 30 hard-earned American dollars. I originally, daydreaming, because like you do, I was like, okay, when I'm going to be a guest on the podcast, I'm going to ask them to break format, and I'm going to ask all of them to be hosts. Yeah, fuck it. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah. So now here we are sitting on the floor with Eddie Webb and a $30 mic. So dreams do come true. You could start a farm with all the shit I'm giving you. I apologize.
This is the nature of our relationship, though.
Yeah. I want to change its true name. Ooh, mummy reference. What have I done?
I think we've touched all the bases.
What's that? That definitely is.
I mean, sort of a demon reference.
But that's true. Anyway, I just want to thank you very much for doing this, and thank you anybody who's listening for your time and attention. If you do want to find me and follow me online, that's on Twitter is where I'm most active. That's Jacob Burgess, VO, JACOB, BURGESS, V is in voice, O is in over. I'll hopefully in January be starting my own Twitch channel. I'm trying to get things together where I'll be continuing my Bloodlines playthrough. I do things with Loading Ready Run on the panelists. I was recently on Desert Bus. We're still doing some of the stuff for Arcade Spirits, which is a great visual novel that I've done casting and directing for. We've got Stephanie Shea, who's Sailor Moon, and Mark Muir, who is Commander Shepard, and Mark Muir. So we've got a lot of cool stuff, and a dude punching the door. That's kind of like the plugs and stuff that I'm doing. That's where you can find me, and I would be lovely to talk to you. I'm so sorry. I want to go to bed.
We're going to go to bed.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming on.
Yeah,
Appreciate
thank you so much. All right, good night, everybody.
And we're back.
What?
Yeah. That was...
How did this happen? I'm so confused. So many things happened in that
now
interview.
you haven't done this 15 times before, right?
Well, that's just like so many things happened in that interview. I feel like I've gone on a journey. A very confusing journey.
It was definitely it was a lot of fun. I mean,
totally.
I enjoyed it, but at the same time, it was definitely different from our usual interviews because it was that weird moment of all of us have at this point a connection with Jacob. I think it's safe to say we're all friends with Jacob at this point. But I had never actually been in the same physical space as him before.
Yeah, no, same.
So you get that kind of weird dynamic of I really know you, but also really don't.
Yeah, well, I mean, especially because he's a podcast listener, so he's
right.
listened to hours of the three of us talking, and then like to have meet that person in person. It's always kind of weird because it's like it's a phenomenon that I've heard other podcast people talk about, where like especially if you do a very famous one or one where you're putting out content every day, people will come up to you and talk to you like they're your best friend. And
right.
you're like, I forgot you knew that story because I talked about it a year ago on the podcast.
Yep.
But then we've also had the opposite thing with Jacob where like I've watched him stream a whole bunch where, I'm just watching him talk. So it's like, we know a lot of things about each other without having done as much interaction as you would usually need for that.
Right. And so you get this kind of weird dynamic of there's a lot of the shortcuts you get with people really well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, at least conversation shortcuts because we've both seen each other's conversation, but yet we never actually implemented them with each other. And so it was I think honestly us being both a little tired and frazzled actually helped because we weren't as precious or awkward. We had also had some conversations during the show. Mm-hmm. We had a business meeting earlier that day. So I mean, it was like, yeah, I just don't care anymore, But the flip side of that is, when I get tired, my filter on profanity does decrease. Which, by the way, side note, I've been accused. There's someone online. This happens to me off and on, who was outraged because they had no clue that I swore. And I'm like, you have not listened to anything I've said, but I realized I don't swear as much on this podcast as I do in real life.
Well, yeah, there's a rumor floating around that Eddie Webb does not curse. And it's like,
right.
You've never talked to Eddie Webb, apparently.
Right.
I mean, when you're, when you come, especially from that like punk rock background that you and I both come from, I think we both curse a fair amount. We do it a lot more when we're just chatting.
Yes.
That's part of my retail training too, is that once I'm talking to like coworkers, even if it's freelance, super chill coworkers, I think I tend to dial it back a lot versus how I talk to like my roommate.
Right.
because you don't curse a lot in retail because people will get offended. And even then, it's like that backroom versus on the floor mentality for cursing. Where like the minute you get behind the door where there aren't any more clients or customers or whatever, you can just say whatever you want. Then you get back on the floor and you have to watch it. So yeah,
and it's the same in creative industries. Like when you first working with a client or a new company, you kind of have that. Okay, where's the level until like someone says something. It's okay, now it's acceptable, and kind of just allows the floodgates to open. But certainly, like there's a number of clients that you find that kind of how much personal stuff is allowed, but it is such a weird interconnected thing. So it's like, is it okay? Some people it's not okay, and then of course you find out certain profanities are acceptable and others aren't. And
floodgates of profanity. That's
right. I'm curious, Matthew. What do you think?
Jacob Burgess, magnificent guest, fantastic interview. They Came From Beneath the Sea is still on Kickstarter, so back it while you can.
Oh, okay, that's weird. All right.
That was a non sequitur. That wasn't about cursing at all. It's like you're not even listening to us, Matthew.
I feel like some sparks don't have a relationship where it's like Matthew's not even really completely here.
Yeah, it's a weird week. Like I just feel like
he's phoning it in.
Yeah, totally. It's not good.
But anyway, They Came From Beneath the Sea. We're still doing that Kickstarter.
We are. Very exciting. Super awesome. We're recording this super early, so I'm just gonna go ahead and say it got 20 times its funding target. It's the best project we've ever done.
$75 billion.
If we made $75 billion on They Came From Beneath the Sea, I will be requesting a raise.
Oh my god, we will make so much underwater monster stuff if we get $75 billion. So much. You don't even know.
Love it. They Came From Beneath the Sea theme park at that point.
Right. Let's buy Disney. Let's see what happens.
Maybe a cruise ship.
Ooh, there you go. They Came From Beneath the Sea on the sea. That's weirdly redundant. Okay. It's still going on. We're hoping it's doing well. At the time we're recording this, it is just started. So, but it looks like people are having a lot of fun with it already. And I know there's some actual plays going up and whatnot. So it's going to be really, really cool. I know Matthew is very happy with already the enthusiasm and attention it's getting.
Yay! Enthusiasm and attention.
Hooray! Hopefully, we'll actually next time we get together and record, we'll actually be able to talk about kind of how our holidays were and whatnot. And I hope you guys have been enjoying this spate of pre-recorded episodes, so you still get your Pathcast fix
all our
during the holidays.
Weird filler episodes where we're just like, we can't not put out anything, but also everybody's traveling and doing things, and
right, It's one of those things that we planned for this. We knew this was going to happen, so we had just enough, but also probably didn't plan enough for this. So it's kind of like,
fine.
We're just gonna.
It's fine. Everything is fine.
It's fine.
And we will be at Midwinter very soon, where we can record an episode with all three of us in the same room, hopefully.
That would be exciting.
It would be exciting. Possibly with drinks. We could actually finally do our drinks episode.
Yes. I think that will be
Midwinter Convention. That hotel has a really great bar.
Yeah, actually it does. Actually, a couple different ones.
Yeah, I usually end up in the Monarch for as long as they're open because that's the cool bar. But then the downstairs bar is also fine.
Yes, absolutely. They're both great, but the Monarch is very, very chill. So if you guys like going to, we talk about Midwinter a lot, but part of the reason we do is that we love a lot of the conventions we go to. They're all do very different things, but Midwinter is definitely the one where we get a lot more kind of chance to talk to people. So if you've ever wanted to kind of just hang out with us or with other Onyx Path freelancers or even just other fans of the games, Midwinter is one where you can get that particular dynamic at Gen Con or PAX Unplugged or, Gamehole Con. All of those, there's so much going on that usually we don't have the time to just be social, but this is definitely a show where we can kind of get more of that in. Yeah,
I mean, once that's where we do a lot of our company plans and things too. But once that's out of the way, we can kind of just chill. We have a table it only requires 1 to 2 people to staff it because it's not a big booth like at PAX or whatever. And people are running demos and people are doing talks and things, but like it's really laid back. So if you want a laid back convention where you can play some tabletop games, play some board games, do some LARPing, but also feel free to not do any of that if you don't want to and just kind of chill, that's a great con.
Yeah, just hang out in the Monarch with drinks. I mean, we all do it.
Yep, that is my dynamic. That is my Midwinter aesthetic. Is sitting in the Monarch with a drink.
Absolutely. So whether we catch you guys at Midwinter, or if you're just catching up, or just love listening to you, thank you so much for your support throughout all of 2018.
Are we doing a pledge drive?
I wish. $75 billion, Dixie. Come on, we gotta hit that. It's our goal.
$30,000.
$30,000. That's an inside joke that we'll explain at some point in the future.
I will never explain the inside joke. I'm just gonna say it.
I do want to say though is that because it'll be the first episode of 2019, but it's the last recording we're doing in 2018. The Pathcast thing was just kind of a this might be fun to do thing I threw out there that you and Matthew both really kind of grabbed onto, and it's now become, I think, one of the highlights of working with Onyx Path for me at least. And
I
also just
love it.
The fans.
I have so much fun doing the Pathcast. And I am totally happy to consider, an hour or 2 a week of just talking to you and Matthew work. Because it's really fun. Right.
It's like weirdly, how do we get paid for this? It's just way too much fun, I think. And we get to talk to so many interesting people and learn so much. So
and also it's just such a nice break from sitting alone in my little home office,
It's true.
Like we've kind of mentioned it before, but like almost every podcast recording features at least 20 minutes of pre-show just us talking about work or other random stuff.
Yes.
Today, Eddy and I talked for a good 30 minutes about linguistics.
Yes.
Before we started recording, just because, when you work from home, you don't see people all day sometimes.
Right.
And like this is, when you work in an office, you can at least say hi to your coworkers. You see them getting coffee or whatever. And then when you work from home, it's like, I don't know what people are anymore.
Right. How do I people?
I don't know.
Oh, that was a very witty thing to say, Dixie.
So really, it's just the Pathcast is kind of just our water cooler in a lot of ways.
It kind of
that
is.
We get to share with everybody.
Yeah.
So I mean, in a way, it's fitting that we're kind of talking about this on Jacob's episode because Jacob's been like such a huge fan of us and promoter of us. So thanks to him, but also thanks to all of you who've been listening, who love the Pathcast, who continue to talk about it, and who enjoy the sudden shifts in tone and dynamic and topic that we go through.
And also, as always, feel free to let us know either on the blog or on Twitter or whatever, like if there's anything you'd like us to talk about or like us to, or anyone that you would like us to interview or whatever in 2019, because we want to keep doing this. But, we've only got so many books and projects, so we're interested to hear what y'all want to hear about.
And how would they get in touch with you on Twitter and elsewhere, Dixie, if they had ideas?
Dixie Cyanide on everything, on the forums, on Twitter. People have occasionally actually sent me Facebook messages, which is fine as long as you're not friending me.
Right.
Like, if you want to send me a message on Facebook, just tell me what's going on, that's totally cool. So.
Right. And basically, yeah, same for me, with the exception of instead of Dixie Cyanide, because that would be weird. You contact me at EddyFate, EDDYFATE. If you want to talk about my professional stuff, Pug Steady, and Matthew?
The Gentleman Gamer on YouTube and the Onyx Path forum. Clap, click, bang on Twitter. Be sure to subscribe.
All right, thank you so much. And as always, many worlds, one Pathcast.
In lieu of my appearance on this week's podcast, I have undertaken to record some noises and statements, so a willful editor could make it appear as if I am really there. So here we go. some noises and statements that I am likely to make on this week's show. Hello! Goodbye! The Gentleman Gamer on YouTube and the Onyx Path forum. Clap, click, bang on Twitter. Be sure to subscribe. They Came From Beneath the Sea is still on Kickstarter, so back it while you can. Jacob Burgess, magnificent guest, fantastic interview. Oh, that was a very witty thing to say, Dixie. Ha 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 ha. That was a very funny thing to say, Eddie. Ho 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 ho. Bono, D10 system, remarkably simple. Fantastic setting, really enthralled me every single step of the way. Obligatory wrestling reference. Brother. Is there anything else that I'm inclined to say? No, I think that pretty much does it.